Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm really excited because today I want to revisit my favorite horror game from when I was like a teenager, about 16. And we're going to play The Path. Path is a psychological horror game released in 2009 by Tales of Tales. The game is based on Little Red Riding Hood, but instead of being the kind of whimsical childhood stories that we know, falls more into the grain of the Grimm's fairy tales. So it's dark, twisted, with a lot of adult themes. In The Path, we follow 6 sisters who each are sent on an errand to visit their sick grandmother. The only rule is to stay on the path. However, obeying this rule leads to failure. Instead, each sister must explore the forest to find items and uncover scenes that trigger specific thoughts and memories based on the character you're playing as. Once you leave the path, it will disappear and the forest will become endless. While exploring, you'll come across a young girl in white. Not much is known about this character, however, by interacting with her, she will guide you back to the path. Now, this wouldn't be Little Red Riding Hood without a wolf. Each sister has a unique metaphorical wolf that they can find within the forest. The wolf acts as the main antagonist, appearing in different forms depending on each of the girls. Now for the sisters. First we have Robin. She is the youngest and the most traditional Red Riding Hood. Representing childhood innocence and naivety, her story serves as a tragic coming-of-age journey. She wanders into the forest to play, eventually meeting her wolf in a cemetery, which leads to her fatal realization about the permanence of death. Rose is the second youngest sister and possibly the most abstract character amongst the sisters. She is 11 years old, represents a precocious, nature-loving child grappling with the boundaries between life and death. She wanders into the forest where she is drawn to a hidden lake. This is where she meets her wolf, which lures her into a surreal, fatal encounter. Ginger is our third sister. She is 13 years old and embodies a deep reluctance to grow up. As an extreme tomboy, her character is fundamentally about the internal struggle of accepting her changing body and the onset of womanhood, which is represented in her wolf. Next we have Ruby. Ruby is 15 years old and acts as a typical teenage outcast, wearing gothic attire. Disillusioned with society, she embraces the macabre, and she's the only sister who prefers the eeriness of the forest compared to her home. Her wolf represents peer pressure, the dangers of seeking premature adult experiences, and the allure of self-destructive habits. Carmen is the second sister. She's 17 years old, who represents the transition into puberty, the dangers of sexuality, and the desire for adult attention. She is characterized as a naive femme fatale who actively seeks out older men to satisfy her loneliness. Her wolf symbolizes the potential dangers associated with promiscuity and craving male attention. Finally, we have Scarlet, who is the eldest at 19 years old. She acts as the stern, orderly matriarch of the family, taking on domestic burdens to make up for an absent mother. Beneath her cold exterior lies a passionate musician. Both the forest and wolf represent her letting go of her responsibilities and falling into her passions. After encountering each wolf, the girls, now looking tired and wounded, wake up in front of Grandma's house. Instead of a safe, normal space, the house becomes surreal and distorted, with bizarre, nightmare-like rooms that reflect the specific trauma and experience of each sister. During this gameplay, I'm going to focus on 3 of the sisters, and I may make a part 2 in the future. So, let's begin. I'll begin with Robin, as her story is the most kind of like traditional Robin Hood story. What I'm going to do is use her to go directly to Grandma's house, which is basically how you fail the game, so you can see what happens. And then after that, I think I'm going to go with Ruby, and then finally Carmen, because out of all of the sisters, those 2 are probably my favourite characters, as well as Ginger, but I think doing 3 sisters is enough for this playthrough. So yeah, let's begin with Robin. I'm so excited to play this again. I really, really hope it lives up to how I remember it. I forgot how good the music was. Go to grandmother's house. And stay on the path. I also forgot how yeah, sorry, I got distracted by the crow there. Yeah, I forgot how good the art style is. I mean, this game came out in 2009, so it may look a bit aged, but to me, I think the style is incredible. Okay, so let's go to Grandma's house so we can see the kind of failed attempt. Yeah, so as you can see, the further along we get, and the closer we get to Grandma's house, the more dark and gloomy the area becomes. So, yeah, when you enter Grandma's house, it's kind of like a walking simulator, so you just kind of hold forward and you visit, or at least go through different rooms within the house. Finally, in Grandma's room. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, if you head directly to the house, it's basically, yeah, gonna show it as failed. So got a D rank. So I think, yeah, we'll begin with Ruby. Okay, so for this one, let's just go off the beaten track. Okay, so part of the gameplay is you can find these, they're called coin flowers, and they essentially help you find different items or areas, which can unlock like the rooms and memories for each of the sisters. I think you have to collect 6. And then on this HUD that you can see, or like the overlay around the screen, there'll be like markers that show you where to where to go to find your to find these secrets. This is like an example. For instance, it shows the cobweb, and there's the overlay of one of the other sisters, which means that it's not for us to interact with, but one of the other playable characters. So there's another flower up here. Oh. Ah, yeah. So as you can see in the background, there's the girl in white who... It's never like fully explained what her role is, or even if she's actually real, because if you interact with her or chase her down, you'll basically embrace her. So you'll give like a hug, and then she takes you by the hand and she takes you back to the path. Oh, I found... Okay, so what you see up ahead is a playground. So this is one of the areas that I mentioned, which each area can contain like one of the wolves. It's just a matter of finding the right area with the right sister. And because we found it very, very early, I'm not going to go over there just yet, because I want to find more of the items so we can unlock more of the rooms within Grandma's house. We have another flower. Okay, so we found one of the items that I mentioned. So this is your basket. It's kind of like your inventory. All memories collected will be stored in the basket. So we'll go for each of the items. So this is what we've found so far. So first we have bread. This is for the old lady, I suppose. And we have what I think is wine. This is for grandmother. I hope I get a sip soon too. And then we found a vinyl. So I prefer my music engraved in black. One thing to note as well is that certain items like the vinyl, more than one character can interact with it. And if you find it with one character, when you play the next character, the second sister won't be able to interact with it because it's already been picked up. So yeah, as you see, as you can see, there was like a marker that just appeared. You can see it on the left of the screen now. So because we collected 6 flowers, that marker's now there, which means that we can follow it to find one of Ruby's items. Okay, so I don't think the shopping cart is one. There is the spray can. Paint drips like tears. Gravity pulls everything down. It's only natural. So yeah, gameplay-wise, this game is very kind of bare bones in the sense that you're essentially just collecting items and wandering around until you come across different things in the woods. Which definitely isn't like a playstyle for everyone. But for people that really kind of like atmospheric horror and very subtle storytelling, you might really like this game. Okay, so another item which different sister needs to interact with. Okay, this is your trail. Now you know where you have been in the forest. Every 100 meters you have traveled, your trail will be displayed. Scarecrow and no birds. Efficient. Wish I had one like that to keep the idiots away. So far, we're actually finding a lot of stuff very quickly. It's one of those games as well because you don't have like a map or a HUD. I mean, it will show you your progress after you've traveled a certain distance, but it's very easy to get turned around, and so you end up just kind of walking in circles, which is why the flowers is really helpful. Especially if you reach a point where you've only got like one item left to find. Okay, so now we're back at a point that we already visited. So, grab some more flowers. It's a real shame because this developer, after their last release, they released a game called Sunset that was also very story heavy and very subtle in the storytelling as well as to what was like happening. And it wasn't a very profitable game, so the company or the couple that made these games eventually just stopped and the company shut down. But looking into this, I see that they've actually opened a new studio called Song of Songs, where they've re-released quite a few of their old games, as well as developing new ones. So yeah, as I said earlier, it's very, very easy to get turned around, so even though we've still ended up back here. So we'll walk maybe in this direction. Hopefully something new. Actually thinking about it, we could also check the new items. So yeah, each of the items as well, the image in the back, it kind of hints at what the room is that we've unlocked in the house. Okay, so for Ruby, I think we'll find maybe one more item, and then after that we'll try and look for the wolf. Let's head in this direction. So we're coming up to another location. The world is a stage, nothing is what it seems, except for nothing itself. So one other thing to note is that also in these areas you can't run, hence why walking very, very slowly. Oh, got stuck on the stool. Don't come close if you want something from me, whatever it is, I probably don't have it. Just leave me alone. Okay, so got some more flowers. Okay, so we found a well. Oh. So yeah, another sister again. Hey, which way? Got a feather. One more oil victim put out of its misery. I should be so lucky. Okay. So here we go, found it. Let's encounter our first wolf. Such a beauty in decay, rust is lovelier than paint, though I doubt old age will happen to me. Do such a good job with the music in this game. Especially with the introduction of the like wolf growling in the background. So good. So as you can see, we've had our wolf encounter now, which has left us kind of tired and wounded, like I said in the introduction. So it doesn't explicitly say what happens during each of the encounters, but no matter the encounter, you end up outside of Grandma's house. Probably gonna cut a bit of this because after this sequence, when you found, or when you wake up outside Grandma's house, you have to walk to the house and it's very, very slow. Hey, so let's see which rooms we've unlocked. Okay, so we're inside. Yeah, as you can see, now the house has changed. Love how surreal it is. Like in a lot of ways it's really obvious as to what the story is that they're trying to say, but they're doing it without dialogue, without text. Okay, so now we're back. So yeah, that's essentially kind of the gameplay. Each sister you play through until until you encounter the wolf. For some reason I thought that even if you just go to Grandma's house that it also counts. So I'm surprised to see Robin still there, but doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna take my dog out for a quick wee and then I'll come back to play as Carmen. As I keep mentioning him, but I haven't actually shown him yet. This is the big man Stinky. Big man Stinky, yes. Hey, so we're back. Stinky has relieved himself, so let's continue with Carmen. Okay, I think this time, maybe head to the left. See what we can find. Okay, so we have a flower. Okay, so now we have a marker on the map. Well, not on the map, on the overlay. But I want to find this flower first. And I see another flower over in the distance as well. Might do this actually, I might try and collect as many flowers as possible. So then we're not kind of running around in circles. Also, one thing to note is that if you're running for a long time, you'll notice that the screen gets quite dark. And when that happens, things like the flowers, for instance, you won't be able to see them. So it's good to like stop running every so often and just take a look around. It's actually kind of a genius way of getting you to slow down and like take in the environment. So I don't think Carmen can actually interact with the well. No, so Ginger. Yeah, this is the thing, is like, even though the well showed Ginger, I think she's not the only one that can also, what's it called? Interact with it. With a lot of the places. Multiple sisters can interact. A playground for boys and girls to play their innocent games. Seems like it was just yesterday. Man who would save us is the destroyer, but the tenderness of giving in can defeat any power. This is the other thing that I really enjoy about this game, is that with each interaction, like for instance this was Ruby's wolf location, but you see that with Carmen and how she interacts with it, that she has her own like opinions that she states. see any more flowers, I don't think. Okay, so let's head... I think it's the bathtub. That's the icon in the top, so let's head in that direction. What I might do as well after we've got to the bathtub is I'll interact with the girl in white, so you can also see how her mechanics work. A little bit of soap and a lot of warm and wet. Never alone anymore. Have a flower up ahead. Okay. Another flower. There's another one in the distance as well. Get to this one. Do the flower first, and then we'll look at the gramophone. And interact. Okay. Oh yeah, of course, because with Ruby we took the record, so you can also see the record is now gone. Or the vinyl. Background, I think that's the music hall again. Let's see if we can find any more flowers. It's the record player. The gramophone, rather. Apologize as well for the constant like running and then walking and then running and then walking. I don't know why, but today my hands, especially my fingers, they feel really sore. So using my little finger to press down the shift button to run is yeah, it's becoming a bit painful. Tree looks out of place, but can't seem to interact with it. Oh, found a new location. Like a destroyed building. lot of bullets on the floor. Bullet with my name on it, alas. This is like the crazy thing with this level design as well. It's like we walked past it twice with Ruby, and yet I didn't even see the building before. Maybe I should become a dancer, big feathers on my head and a spotlight in my face. I can do that. Okay, let's interact with the girl in white so that to get closer to her, I think. Good work. Okay, gonna continue wandering around because yeah, it's a bit difficult to approach her and see in that location because of the camera. Didn't make a noise to indicate it, but we do have another marker on the... don't know if you want to call it overlay or HUD. It's so a tiny bit difficult to see, but that's fine. Keep heading forward, we should find it. I think it's a garbage can by the looks of it. Okay, so if we just head straight forward, we should eventually find it. Yeah, that's what I mean about running too much. Oh. Oh, okay, never mind. We found the wolf. The tent is closed, the shack is closed, yet the beer seems fresh, and the fire is still warm. You know what? So it's not too long of a video with let's interact with the wolf. Like the fact that the girl in white is hiding. So she's showing that she's scared. Okay, so it wasn't a garbage can on the HUD. Fresh out and warm in, spinning head, bubbling blood. She's hiding. Warm glow caresses my skin, peels me layer by layer, until I am pure for you. So it's locked. Sure, if we interact with him again, it seems like every time we interact with a new thing, he changes location. Is he following us? It's like it. Right. Maybe we have to sit down by the fire. Okay. Yeah, we just had to wait for it to trigger. Because the thing that I really like with the storytelling of this is that clearly, obviously, something really, really bad happened, but it doesn't show it actually happening, and also it kind of leaves it up to your imagination, which from a psychological horror kind of viewpoint just shows kind of how simple yet effective the storytelling is. It's not very often you find psychological horror games where it's not, everything's like not directly like thrown at you and shown to you and it's in your face. I think probably Silent Hill's the only early Silent Hill games anyway. It's kind of the only psychological horror series that also uses kind of subtle storytelling, especially with like the enemy designs. Slowly walking again. Almost at the house. Okay, so let's see Carmen's experience. Sorry if you can hear snoring. Stinky's asleep at my feet. Something that the developers also do a really good job on is like the character animations, because like just then with the shadow of Carmen it looks like she's crying. She's rubbing her eyes. But the way that she walks and she carries herself very much kind of fits that like vixen character that she's trying to like portray. The same with Ruby as well. Ruby, it was very like she was very distant and defensive with her bodily movements. Yeah, so as you can tell from the sound design, it's very obvious what happened to Carmen with the lumberjack. I don't know if I might end up having to mute this section. If I do, there's basically just a lot of moaning in like certain, what's it called, there's a lot of moaning and groaning in a very explicit way, let's say. There's also the sound of like sawing wood. I have to say, I think out of all of the sisters, Carmen's story is my favourite. Not necessarily for the subject matter, but it's definitely the strongest when it comes to like making me feel uncomfortable. Yeah, now Ruby and Carmen are gone. So I think I'm going to leave it here. It was really, really good playing this again. I forgot how much I enjoyed this game, and I have to say it's aged very, very well. Apart from maybe some of the like the clipping with the wolf characters that sometimes walk into objects and stuff, but I mean that can happen in AAA games that are just released. But no, I forgot how good the storytelling is for its simplicity, and it handles a lot of very dark subject matter in a way that it doesn't feel exploitative. It feels like it's done in quite a tasteful way, and I like it when games aren't afraid to explore taboo subjects, especially where they can do it in a way where it's not gross and there's actually kind of like meaning and style behind it. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, thank you for watching, and I think I probably will do a part 2, just because I really forgot how much I enjoyed this game, and I actually really enjoyed playing it. Playing it again after 18 years, I think. So yeah, if you're still here, thank you. Feel free to leave a like or subscribe or comment, do whatever. Like I said, there's no pressure, but it's appreciated. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.